Hey Anya, welcome to a special What Day of the Week Is It? Edition of Poetry Project number 15. I'm super excited for today because you challenged me to read you an Old English poem, and as you know, I went out and found Tolkien's translation of Beowulf. What could be more exciting than both of those things in the same place? So it arrived, it's very beautiful. Ooh, I don't know why all the lettering is backwards for you, but yeah, it's beautiful. And I promised you a totally mind-blowing surprise, and here it is. Tolkien's translation is in prose. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? Tolkien translated Beowulf into prose. Where's my okay? Oh, I'm using my other edition of Beowulf to prop up this computer. Yeah, in my folklore class, we studied Beowulf briefly, and this is the version that we used. And like all editions of Beowulf ever, it's in verse because Beowulf is a Middle English poem. And oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Why would Tolkien do that? What about the caesura? Isn't that the most distinctive feature of Old English poetry? That and alliteration. And you know what? You can tell me after I've read you this excerpt, but I don't know. Is it really that alliterative? But, I mean, it's Tolkien. How can I say anything bad about Tolkien? Other fun fact about Beowulf, maybe you know this already, but it actually only survived in one extant copy, which ended up in the library of Sir Richard Cotton, which is the same library that happened to have the one manuscript copy of the poems by the Pro Poet. So yeah, both of these incredibly rare and valuable and precious and amazing manuscripts somehow ended up in the same library owned by this guy, Sir Richard Cotton. So that's pretty awesome. Are you ready? Thereafter was fortune and war vouchsafed to Hrothgar being the king of the Geats, of course, and glory in battle, that the vassals of his own kindred hearkened willingly unto him, and the numbers of his young warriors grew to a mighty company of men. Then it came into his heart that he would command men to fashion a hall and a mansion, a mightier house for their mead drinking than the children of men had ever known, and there within would he apportion all things to young and old, such as God had granted him, save the people's land and the lives of men. Then have I heard that far and wide to many a kindred on this middle earth was that work proclaimed, the adorning of that dwelling of men. In a while, swiftly among men, it came to pass for him that it was all made ready, the greatest of houses and of halls. For it he devised the name of Heorot, even he whose word far and wide was law. His vow he belied not, the rings he dealt, and treasure at the feast. The hall towered high with horned gables wide, awaiting the warring billows of destroying fire. The time was not far off that between father and daughter's spouse murderous hate in memory of a deadly feud should awake again. Dum dum dum. So just to compare, this is R.M. Liuza's, sorry, mispronounced that, translation of the same passage of Beowulf. Then success in war was given to Hrothgar, honor in battle, so that his beloved kinsmen eagerly served him until the young soldiers grew into a mighty troop of men. It came to his mind that he should order a hall building, have men make a great mead house, which the sons of men should remember forever, and there inside he would share everything with young and old that God had given him, except for the common land and the lives of men. Then the work, as I've heard, was widely proclaimed to many nations throughout this middle earth, to come adorn the folkstead. It came to pass swiftly among men, and it was soon ready, the greatest of halls. He gave it the name Heorot, he who ruled widely with his words. He remembered his boast, he gave out rings, treasure at table. The hall towered high and horn-gabled. It awaited hostile fires, the surges of war. The time was not yet near that the sword hate of sworn in-laws should arise after ruthless violence. One thing I really like about Tolkien's translation, or one thing that I think is quite distinctive, is that he obviously keeps the sort of sentence bits where they were in the original Old English. He doesn't clean them up as much as this translator does. It's also funny because in this one, the verse section, that whole bit is only this long. It's only that many lines. In Tolkien's edition, it's all of that. Like, where did he get the supplementary material? I assume that it was from the original manuscript of Beowulf. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe he was supplementing with his imagination, or I don't know. I would love to know. I would probably know if I actually read the whole book, including all the introduction and notes, not just the bits that I wanted to read to you. So as you know, next week is our last and final and ultimate poetry project. Yay, number 16. And as per our agreement, my challenge for you next week is to pick any one of the challenges that you gave me. Just to refresh your memory, those challenges were E. Cummings, an epic poem, a happy poem, a poem that was written within the last 2 years, a Middle English poem, a German poem, a ballad, a poem by Emily Dickinson, a haiku, our Christmas special, which I guess is limericks, I don't know, a sonnet, futurism, blank verse, and Algernon Charles Swinburne, and now Old English. So pick your poison. I am super excited to find out what you decide. And yeah, another good week, another poetry project. I'm looking forward to next week. So I'll see you then.